Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Locks of the Day podcast. This is episode number 51. I'm here once again with Zach and Andrew. You know what we're here to do. We're going to lock in with the premium picks for free. Today, we got MLB, we got tennis, and we got PGA. We're going to waste no time. We're going to cut right to the chase. Andy, you got the MLB three-star. Go give it to him, kid.
Yes, sir. Three-star for MLB today will be Blue Jays money line plus 115 against the Yankees. Uh, Blue Jays currently in control of the AL East. No one had that on their bingo card this year. They're 3.5 games above the Yankees. Their bats have been absolutely dialed. They have a top three batting average. Or no, they have the best batting average right now. Top three in hits, top six in doubles, top 10 in runs batted in. They also have the least amount of strikeouts in the MLB at the dish. It's like tonight they face Max Fried, who's been kind of iffy, but Blue Jays hit lefties pretty well. They got Ernie Clement, who's batting 364. That's at 100 at bats too. Against lefties. Vladdy's batting 333. Alejandro Kirk's batting 289, which is like right around his average. So not worried about the lefty matchup. And once again, Max Fried has struggled in his last three outings. Pitched 3 innings against the Cubs, let up 4 runs, lost that game 5-2. Went 5 innings against the Mets, lost that or won that game 6-4, but let up 3 runs. In the third game, he played against the Blue Jays, let up 4 runs, 2 home runs, lost that game 12-5. So I think they're gonna get after Fried tonight pretty early. Uh, Blue Jays have low-key controlled the series, the regular season series against the Yankees. Season series right now is 6-3. And I don't see the Yankees doing anything right now. The Blue Jays are just way too hot, way too hot. So I love a plus 115. Um, Yankees barely won last night. They got lucky on a fucking solo shot in the top of the ninth on some fucking absolute bullshit when the game was tied up fucking 4-4. Fucked over the three-star last night, but ain't happening tonight. Ain't happening. So give me that plus 115. Blue Jays money line three-star. Give it over to Zach for a two.
Money line for the two-star tonight. That's going to be a minus 130. Love what we're working with here for for Cleveland. They're on a hot streak. They've come out of the break. They're 4-1 right now. Orioles are on the opposite side. They're 1-4. And at first, I was hesitant about this, but the Orioles flipped over their pitching. They have Zach Eflin going tonight and Charlie Morton actually going tomorrow. So Zach Eflin on the season is 6-5 with a 6 ERA. And Cleveland's pitcher, Slade, I'm going to butcher this, Chichoni. Sorry, Slade, my bad. But he's done great this year for them. So he's 5-4 with a 3.84, and he's just been solid. And I don't think he needs to do too much in this game, as Zach Eflin hasn't done well in his career against the Guardians, which is why I like this. He's had 2 starts. He's 1-1 with a 7.5 ERA, and he's only got 5 strikeouts in those 2 games. So the Guardians were a big contact team last year, and that's how they've been this year. However, this year just really hasn't gotten their way at the plate. But guys like Jose Ramirez have stayed hot, and they're carrying the offense right now, kind of like we saw in these past 2 games. And Andrew and I talked about it yesterday. This might be a time where the Guardians start making a little run here. You got some of these teams like Cleveland, Texas. They're starting to kind of find their groove. They're playing these teams that aren't that good, and they're starting to make a run up the wild card. And, Cleveland opened up against Oakland. Now they played Baltimore, and their schedule gets a little bit easier as they start to ease their way into this second half. And looking at this Orioles team, they are still continuing to struggle. They had their moments at the end of the first half, but you have a Guardians team that hits really well against Zach Eflin. They hit 350 against him. Eflin does not do well against the Guardians in his 1-1 with a 7.5. I think that at this point, with the struggles on Baltimore's pitching staff and their lack of hitting, how it's just been very up and down all year, I think Cleveland's going to stay pretty consistent tonight, and they're going to take this one.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And that wraps it up for your MLB lock, 2 and 3-star. And I will get you right into the tennis. So today, which is ATP Washington, these are hard courts. It's hard court season now. Wimbledon is done. Shout out to the Jannik Sinner Alcaraz rivalry. Going with our 3-star, Lerner Tien plus 1.5 sets at a minus 110 versus Andre Rublev. Now, Tien is number 67 in the world, and Rublev's number 10 in the world. Tien has really made a name for himself this season, proving he can compete with pretty much anyone except the top few, like Alcaraz and Djokovic, which no one can really compete with them. But he's beaten guys like Medvedev, Zverev, Norrie, Shelton, and more, and those are all top guys. And Rublev is another one of those top guys, and he's definitely the better player when he's on. The thing is, he's a hothead, and you never really know what you're getting with Rublev. His forehand's one of the best in the game, but once again, he could just crash out and lose a set like nothing 6-1. It's just kind of him. Or he could lose it 6-4 because Tien is actually a very talented player and could legitimately beat him head to head. Or Tien could just win the match. I think he's a plus 175 or plus 200. Not a bad line, but I'm loving plus 1.5 sets. Because Tien's just not a scrub. Like, I feel like people are kind of overlooking Tien because it's Rublev here. Nah. Just lock in plus 1.5 sets. Lerner Tien at a minus 110. That's a beautiful line. He can still lose the match. I love it. So that's the 3-star. Now rolling on to the 2-star. Starts at 6 p.m. Eastern time. We have Flavio Caboli, money line, minus 180 versus Yoshihito Nishioka. Now, Caboli's ranked number 18 in the world, while Nishioka's ranked number 89. Caboli's so highly ranked because he just went off at Wimbledon. I mean, and he even played a great match against Novak Djokovic, which is pretty wild. This match will be on hard court, though. And yeah, once again, Caboli's been playing the best tennis of his career. It's not even a debate. This dude, you just have to respect this guy. If you've watched this dude play any time in the past 2 to 3 months, he's balling out, beating great players, competing with top players, if not beating them. I mean, it's insane. And then you got Nishioka. He's lost 7 of his last 9 matches, so he's not doing too hot. And granted, he's no slouch. He does have a very respectable game, but it's very hard to bet against Caboli in this matchup. I'll just say that. He's really hot, on fire. Then you have a dude who's cold. I mean, come on. You got a minus 180 in tennis, 1v1 head-to-head. I'll take that all day. So lock in a 2-star, Flavio Caboli money line, minus 180. Those are your tennis locks. Now I'll roll right into PGA. Andy, you got the 3-star, kid.
Yes, sir. Another small tournament this week in Minnesota, coming off the Open. Scotty, of course, just did his thing, ran away with the claret jug. But this week, got the 3M Open at the TPC Twin Cities in Minneapolis, Minnesota. This week, top 20 finish, give me Kevin Roy. I know, I know none of you guys heard of that name before, neither have I. But he's been playing some very, very good golf. He has a scoring average in the top 4 at 69.3. He's also inside the top 30 for driving accuracy and averages around 4 birdies. I think a little over 4 birdies per round was like 4.1 something. But Roy started off the season strong with an 18th place finish at the American Express, 17th place finish at the Mexico Open, and a 6th place finish at the Puerto Rico Open. Then his next 3 events missed a cut, which were also bigger events, harder courses with all the bigger names around. So obviously a little bit, it's a different factor there. He shook that off, he shook that bad month and a half off, then tied 15th at the CJ Cup, tied 18th at the RBC Canadian, tied 8th at the Rocket Classic, tied 3rd at the John Deere a couple weeks ago. So it seems like he's right back on track where he was at the beginning of the season. So I love this line here. Kevin Roy for top 20 is plus 330. I don't know why. He's done it a bunch of times this year. I think he's had 3 top 10s and 7 top 20s this year. So I love this line. So give me Mr. Kevin Roy at a plus 330. Lock that in at a top 20. Zach, what do you got, kid?
Uh, for the 2-star, Tom Kim to make the cut at a minus 150. Kim has been pretty good this year with making cuts. He's made the cuts in about 75% of his matches, and considering he's missed the cut in 3 of his last 4, he is due for another good week. He started off the year very hot. He made 7 of his first 8 cuts, and then slowly kind of slowed down. It was miss a cut, make a cut, miss a cut, make a cut. But kind of like how I liked it last week, Tom Kim, every time he misses a cut, makes the cut the next week. And he missed the cut this past week at the Open. And he really didn't do that bad at the Open. He shot +2. He shot really bad in that last round, which ended up having him miss the cut in that one because he was just off the leaderboard when it did happen, because he double bogeyed 18, bogeyed 16, and he went right down. But he's looked good in his previous outings. He has tied, or he's been in the top 20 3 times so far. He's been in the top 46 times so far. A lot of times it just seems like he's making the cut, and then he plays about even golf the rest of the time that he's there. But he has been still solid all year. He's had some great earnings so far as well. And he's been a solid golfer. And he played at the 3M about 2 years ago. I believe it was 23. He finished tied for 26th. He shot 6 under. He did really well in that tournament. So I can kind of see the same thing again coming along this week as he's going to look to bounce back because, he's missed the cut 3 of his last 4 times. He knows he's not getting paid. He's got to go out there. He's got to play. And if he doesn't, keeps missing the cut, it only gets worse for him. So, but he's a solid golfer. He's still really young. He's only 23, which I figured that out. Very surprising. He's younger than me, for God's sake. So the kid can definitely go out there and do it. So, I don't see an issue. I don't see a problem. I think Tom Kim's going to be great. He's done good on some of these more, how do I describe this? Courses with more trees and more hills. He's done really well with this year. So, a course like this that's not very flat, very open, that has less water, less bunkers, I think he's got a better opportunity for himself, and he's going to really be able to drive up his score and have a run at this tournament. So I'm going to take Tom Kim to make the cut, -150.
Beautiful. Love it. So that wraps up podcast number 51. Those are your MLB, tennis, and PGA locks, of course, all premium 2 and 3 stars. You boys got anything else for him?
Well set.
All set. Awesome. So like I said, that wraps up podcast number 51 for Locks of the Day. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you next week. Get those babies in. Peace.